Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAFF, will on Friday, January 30th, 2026, recommission and relaunch its compliance team office, Apapa, Lagos. Speaking to journalists on Tuesday, January 27, 2026, the Chief of Staff of the NAGAFF Compliance Team, Mr. Bartholomew Okeke, said the exercise represents a renewed and more forceful commitment by the association to ensure strict compliance with extant laws and regulations governing Nigeria's freight forwarding industry. According to Mr. Okeke, the compliance team, inaugurated in the February 2021, serves as NAGAFF's enforcement and intervention arm, executing legitimate directives of the national president to address cases of non-compliance by both freight forwarding practitioners and relevant government agencies.
The compliance team was inaugurated in February 2021 as the enforcement arm of NAGAFF, in which we carry out the orders, legitimate orders of Mr. President of NAGAFF to see that extant rules and regulations guiding the freight forwarding industry are strictly observed by the practitioners and the government agencies.
He explained that the recommissioning became necessary after the team's former office space was taken over by plaza management for other uses, which necessitated the relocation to another block within the same complex, stressing that the exercise goes beyond reopening an office.
We are trying to relaunch ourselves even much more forcefully in the system, so that people will know that we're not just back, we are much more forward-looking to see that all extant laws and regulations guiding the freight forwarding industry are strictly observed, and that we are 100% assured of success. That is why we are calling on the general public and the practitioners to come and witness the relaunch of the compliance team.
Mr. Okeke noted that while the compliance team is not confrontational by default, it intervenes whenever infringements occur, adding that past challenges largely stemmed from non-compliance driven by personal interests among some operators and government agency personnel.
Our challenges have always been compliance from both parties, and we have tackled those issues even as against normal practice, because when you start negotiating, like in the trade union policies, when negotiation fails, the next thing is action. Normally in trade union they say strikes and withdrawal of services. We've done that.
Looking ahead, he said the team will adopt a more engagement-driven and dialogue-based approach, focusing on trade facilitation, stakeholder collaboration, and think tank solution rather than outright confrontation.
Looking forward, what we intend to do now is to engage more practically, through engagements of all the agencies, so that they will know that it is not all about fighting. It's all about seeing that trade is facilitated, so that nobody thinks that he knows it all. Whatever challenges that you have, you relate with the stakeholders, so that they will know that you are facing this and that, and then we will brainstorm. We have a think tank. In fact, the compliance team is a think tank, even though we are interventionists.
Commenting on compliance levels within the industry, the Chief of Staff to the National Coordinator disclosed that Increased automation and reduced human interference have improved adherence to procedures to about 60%, though he described the figure as unsatisfactory.
With the level of computerization that have removed a lot of human interference in the processes, I can see and confirm that compliance from both sides have gone up. Not satisfactorily, but at least over 60%. Well, right now, there are things you just can't do. The system will simply block you from going ahead until you satisfy that rights process. Okay? So I can say that compliance has been over 60%. So we are moving forward, but the goal is to get to at least 90%. There are no foolproof processes. There must be those who will try to truncate it. But our job is to see that we educate, re-educate, inform, and make sure that people try to comply, at least up to a reasonable extent.
He reaffirmed NAGAFF's commitment to defending its members and the national economy against arbitrary terminal and shipping line charges, recalling past interventions and engagements with the Nigerian shippers.
NAGAFF is the umbrella body of all freight forwarders in Nigeria. We have the largest membership in Nigeria. So when NAGAFF talks, you must listen.
Mr. Okeke also disclosed that NAGAFF currently boasts over 1,000 members nationwide, with their compliance team present in all major ports across the country. As part of post-recommissioning activity, the team will embark on advocacy and sensitization visits to the eastern ports and port courts to strengthen compliance and alliance building.
When there was this 2 years ago, when there was this massive increase, Frank, you are here too, when we had this arbitrary increment in terminal charges, okay, NAGAFF led from the front lines, and we had to, because the increment was just sudden, we acted suddenly as well, if there's a word like that. We blocked off the APM terminals and other terminals and stood our ground. We're not going to pay that level of increment. They resisted. We had to go to the Shippers Council office. Remember that? We went to the Shippers Council head office at the GRA Apapa there, blocked their offices off. They came down, the ES came down to talk to us and to assure us that they were going to do something about it. And they later called a stakeholders meeting, of which we were fully involved, and they had to come down.
The event is expected to attract the presence of the founder, Dr. Boniface Anebum, NAGAFF's national president, High Chief Tochukwu Ezi-Isi, members of NAGAFF board, representatives of government agencies, and other key industry stakeholders, after which the compliance team would embark on sensitization visits to eastern ports and border areas.